Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. If you're looking for ways to get more phone calls and potential leads for your business, get into Apple Business Connect. I'm going to walk you through a few ways you can optimize your account a little bit more so you can get better rankings and hopefully get more customers as well. To start is your About section. This is a small ranking factor within Apple. The reason why I'm calling this out is that I work with a lot of clients that are actually multi-language. So they'll do things like we speak English and Spanish and Portuguese or English and Spanish and French or something like that. What you can do is go to the other languages over here, and you can actually type in. So if I type in the word Spanish over here, you can actually then take your description from English and then put it into this box for Spanish. So this is huge. If you are a doctor, and let's say you work with a population that's again English, Spanish, Russian, take your description, translate it right there with an Apple. That's a ranking factor. That's pretty easy to do. So next is your photos. So photos, Apple actually has within their insights section that they can actually display how many times people have clicked on your photos. Apple is very visual, so you want to have photos of both the outside of your location, you working on whatever the services you provide, regular photo updates. They can increase the engagement. I think Apple uses dwell time like Google. So if you're a mover, share photos on a regular basis of the team moving, residential or commercial properties. This is a small ranking factor as well. So update photos. That is great. Let's go back into the profile. Next is your hours. So be sure when you click into the hours, you want to manually check off the add special hours. So as special hours are things like 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, anything else like that. So be sure to check off if you are or are not open. It's a small ranking factor. Next, you want to have actions on your profile. So over here, when you click on this, my actions are to get basically a free local SEO audit. So I have a link to my free local SEO audit page on my website, but I also have a schedule link as well. So you can get in contact with me. So I do this with all my clients. If you are, let's say you have like a booking link on your website, I'll add that as an action. So somebody who comes to my profile using their Apple device or they're using Apple Maps on their browser, they can then, click on services or they can click on schedule and then they can get either in contact with my client or at least get a booking. The actions tab, it's not so much a ranking factor, but it's a way to get more potential leads for your business. Next, you want to look at the showcases section down here. So showcases are things you want to kind of call out. So what does this kind of look like? So if you go to Apple Maps Beta, this is that showcase. It's a free heat map scan. It has a photo of me and it has click see services. So I do this also with my clients. So I will have different showcases, whether it's like a promotion we're running. So it might be like 10% off your first move from, July 1st through July 30, July 31st or whatever. I'll have that as a showcase to kind of highlight that. Again, I'm trying to increase the click-through rate, get more people to kind of, see this stand out as a showcase. Because again, what I know is a lot of times competitors will just create an Apple Business Connect profile and then they never go back into it. So creating showcases, it's active, gets users to click on it, and also you can potentially get more leads from that as well. Finally, the categories is a ranking factor. I'm going to share this in 1 second, but your primary category is most important. So for me, it's marketing agency, then I have advertising agency and business consultant. I share this because category search is a big part of Apple Maps. So if you are, um, let's say you're a mover, there might be categories like mover as the primary category, but then secondary services are like piano mover or something else. So if you are really struggling to get more leads for the term mover, because if you run your local Falcon heat map scans, and you're like, man, I can't really rank better for mover. There's so many movers in the area. Maybe try to niche down into a secondary category like piano mover, make that the primary category, see what that does, if that gets more phone calls for your business. The good to know section over here, this is not so much a direct ranking factor, but it's an indirect ranking factor because when you're on Apple Maps, you can actually sort by different features. So is a wheelchair accessible? Appointments only? Do they accept Apple Pay? I noticed this actually when I was in Ocean City, Maryland last year. I was working on a free local SEO audit, and I looked at just in general what was out in Ocean City, and I realized that there was a filter section which was, can you accept Apple Pay? So obviously on Apple you can have Apple Pay as a feature. So if you are, let's say a locksmith or a mover, and you're trying to rank a little bit better on Apple, accept Apple Pay because it's a feature that people can filter directly within Apple Maps to find businesses that can accept that for payment. So that's a small ranking factor as well. Let me go back into the info section here. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was, oh yeah, and if you also have an app, you can add this over here. So the App Store URL, this is a great place to kind of, show. So if you were like a business that offers like an app, so I'm making up an example over here, but let's pretend you're an HVAC company and you have an app that allows users to log in, or maybe like you're a lawn care service that has an app, so people can then take the schedule of like how often you're gonna come to their location to service their lawn. You can put the app directly in here to the App Store. Again, it will kind of feature that directly for users, so now they're able now to kind of navigate to the App Store to either check out your app or to download the app as well. Finally, let's talk about insights. So my profile is going to look so different than my clients. So this is not the best example, but I want to just go all the way down over here, change this from week to 12 months and hit save. So for my account, no one really calls me, as you can see, or website, because no one's really on Apple Maps looking for a marketing agency, for example. But for my clients who are locksmiths and HVACs and plumbers and movers, you really want to go into this section over here. You'll get all the data of how many phone calls you get, how many website clicks you get, how many directions you get. So if you're a doctor, directions might be a KPI that you're tracking. You can even change the heat map over here. So I'm going to change this to 12 months. Again, there's probably going to be no data that shows up for my business, but I do this a lot. So my clients that are running Google ads and Bing ads, I'll look at the heat map to see exactly where people are clicking on directions to then get to the location, because those might be areas I really want to target directly with a Google ad or a Bing ad as well. So anyway, those are just some ways to optimize your Apple Business Connect profile to potentially improve your rankings, but also make your profile stand out more so you get more phone calls, more leads from your business for people who choose to use Apple Maps to search. Also, DuckDuckGo uses Apple Maps for their results. So anyone that's searching on that, who searches for a local business, that's Apple Maps in there, not Google and not Bing. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions about Apple Business Connect. And as always, have a good rest of your day.